Hello everyone. You've seen my hands quite often as I've been talking about pens, and I thought maybe you can see my face and you won't be frightened by what you see. My cat isn't frightened. He's just looking at me wondering who I'm talking to. And I'm talking to you. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to explain for a second what I'm doing right now. I'm going to show you my little work desk because you'll be amazed first that anything gets done on it, and you'll see a little bit of tragedy that happened earlier today when I was moving things around. So let me zoom around here, and there's Orca. And up here in this thing suspended from the ceiling, Orca is skittish about that. Up there was a big heavy thing that came crashing down and landed on the cap of this pen. And as you can see, it completely destroyed the cap. So I was happy to learn, I guess, that it wasn't a particularly valuable pen. It's a wherever. But I put a really nice nib in it, and it still has a nice nib. The nib is not damaged. So I might have another cap for that pen. I may have a black cap for that pen. I don't know. I'll figure it out in a second. So I'm stepping back, and I sit at this desk. Most often it's completely cluttered, just as it is right now, with who knows what. A cat often, and ink bottles, glue, pens that I'm repairing, scissors, checks that I haven't paid, all sorts of stuff. Above this, right in that area, there used to be this green easel, which I took down in order to do some painting later on today, maybe. I haven't painted in years, but I thought I would. This is a model of the Rotterdam, which is a boat that looks like that in real life. And I love how the artist, carver, sort of turned it into this truncated version of it. It looks like a tugboat rather than a sleek ocean liner that it was. So continuing the tour, there I have boats with triangles as sails. I have inkwells. I have other boats. These are empty folders and scrap paper. These are where I will put my jobs as I'm working on them. Over here is more debris, and there's my cat. In these trays, I moved this one over here now, and I haven't quite figured out. This is pencil leads and things like that. I don't know. I'll probably end up removing things there and putting more important things in that tray. These have X-Acto knives, broken nibs, other broken nibs. These are steel drawing nib pens I've got when I have to use acrylic ink. These trays contain my pens that I use to draw with or do calligraphy with. And I have to plug. Where is it? Where's my plug? Hold on, sorry. You're getting dizzy here. Pretend you're on a roller coaster. See if this works. Come on. Are you going to go in or what? Did you work or what? I don't know if this is actually charging or not. My phone has the charger cord keeps falling out, so I think something's wrong with it. So anyway, my cat always wants to be where the action is, and this right here is where the action is, with you and me. I recently got from a neighbor of mine this Western riding saddle, which I mounted on a stool with down here you'll see a C-clamp holding it all together. Just one little tiny C-clamp is holding everything together. And I'm thinking that if I mount this like I'm mounting a horse to go out cowboying, maybe I'll take my job more seriously. Oh, there's the cat. Oh, bite me, bite me. Oh, 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 killer cat, killer cat. Oh. Oh, oh. His name is Orca, and he's aptly named because he's a killer. So this is where I do my drawing most of the time. Over there, next to the McDonald's flag, is where my computer is, and that's where I sit to do my computer work. These are filing cabinets, sometimes filled with actual files, other times filled with, as you see, a collection of drafting sets. More drafting sets. Parallel rulers. This is full of very heavy stainless steel items that I took out of a dumpster. These are tripods for cameras. Those are selfie stands, selfie sticks. If my selfie sticks break, I buy my selfie sticks at the dollar store, and I get my money's worth. This says ruler. Oh, there's only two in there. Often there are way more things. Clips. Coaster. What on earth do I have under coaster? Oh, coasters for chairs. A lot of the stuff in my studio is on wheels so that I can move things easily without having to, like that thing there, that's holding up where I repair my pens. That's full of tools and stuff. And that thing holding it all up is a casket holder. So if it can hold a bronze casket filled with a 500-pound man, it can hold all of that stuff. Above me, this is just debris that I use once a year maybe, and it's out of sight, out of mind. Over here we have a table. That's a table underneath all that crap, where I sit on one side. I sit in the back, and the client sits here, and we talk about what they want me to do. These are bookcases, more bookcases, some doll houses. Above me are flags of many nations. I like flags. My battery or something died right in the middle of showing you my studio. So on the wall of my studio I painted the alphabet. Anyway, let me now mount up come on by. God damn it! How did that happen? Come on, boy. Settle down there. Settle down there. The name of my trusty steed is Tetanus. Not Trigger, not Lightning. tetanus. Okay, I think he's ready. So now I'm going to aim you to my face, and you can watch the pain on my face when I try to get my 62-year-old body over this thing. Note to self, get ballroom jeans. For obvious reasons. So now I'm back here at the desk. Let's see if I can plug this in. Shit. God damn it. Fuck. Okay. Let's see if I can do it right this time. I'm now sitting in my chair, on my saddle rather, and what I'm doing is looking through the pens. Alfonso Dunn, I want you to pay attention to me for a moment, because I'm going to show you, if I can. Oh, cat! My cat just decided to join us. Yeah, I know, kitty. Somewhere here, I have a pen that has a really, really fine nib. And I have a feeling you might like the way that writes, but I don't know where it is, so I'll have to save that for another time. But as I was showing you some pens, there was one pen, one specific pen right here, that I thought I was going to keep for the moment because it has a really nice stub nib. So maybe I'll do a drawing with it, since I'm here and I can. Cat, that isn't food. So I'll try to draw my... God damn it. Now, this camera is between my eyeball and not only what I'm trying to draw, but my drawing. So I need to have eyeballs on the end of long stalks like crabs have, so I can... This is supposed to be my cat, but of course he's deciding he's gonna... Kitty, do you have some dirt on you? There. Little feet are coming down here. Now he's facing this way. Now he's facing that way. No sense of the trauma that he's putting me through right now. Somewhere, though, Alfonso, I have a very thin pen, fine nibbed pen, and I can draw lines that are distinct from one another. There's a line and a space and a line and a space and a line and a space, and the spaces might be, you know, half as wide as the lines are, but I can get 130 lines in an inch. So that's pretty darn fine. I don't know how wide the line is exactly, but I could do the math and figure it out. But so can you, so can anyone else. This pen here was not the one I was going to show you, but it's pretty similar. Let me see if I can zoom in here. 1, 2, 3. No. That's 20 lines. And another 20 lines would be that big, and another 20 lines would be that big. So that's maybe an inch. Somewhere here I have a ruler. But that's 60 lines to an inch. Now I have a pen that I can get twice as many. Turning it upside down, maybe I can get more. But anyway, I think you might enjoy a very, very fine nibbed pen. because that seems to be your stock in trade there. What is this one? This one is a pen that I bought recently in an online auction, and it has this conical nib, Triumph nib, but it's not quite tight against the barrel. And so this is a pen that works fine for me, but it leaks around here, so this is a pen that I wouldn't sell to anyone else. I'll probably have a friend of mine that fixes these kinds of pens to fix it for me. I'm not going to bother. I try to be honest. Well, I am honest. I try to tell a would-be buyer of a pen all of the flaws that I know of that they cannot see. Now, if they were looking at this pen, they would see there's a dent there. I don't have to point out that dent or that little dent there. I would hope. Oftentimes my pen customers come with very bright illuminated loops, and they study the pen completely, and I figure, okay, well, they're looking at it more closely than I ever did. But if there's a problem with the pen that they cannot tell by looking at it with their power for a loop, I'll point it out to them if I know it. This particular pen tends to leak around there, and I'll get it fixed one day. But most of the time when I'm selling a pen, I'm selling it. It's the nib that I'm selling. The holder, all the other parts of it are generally free. It's the nib that I am marketing. If the barrel and the cap are rare or in perfect condition and things like that, I'll charge more for it. If they're pretty pens, I'll charge perhaps more for it, but it's mainly the nib that you're getting from me. Nib in a working pen. So I wish I knew where my fine nibbed pen was. Where did I put that, Alfonso? Because I think that would be the one that you would really like. But I don't know where it is. Kitty, do you know where it is? Orca? Orca doesn't know. Or if he knows, he's not telling me. I am my best customer, by the way. I'm looking through pens. This pen that says artists art on it, these were all ready to go to artists and calligraphers. I had already said goodbye to them. We had our tearful farewells. I told it to remember the good things that I taught it. Remember me. But then I just tried this one, and I thought, okay, I'm going to keep this one. I'm not ready to say goodbye to you yet. Maybe if I do 1 or 2 drawings with this, or 1 or 2 calligraphic jobs with this, I could say, okay, now you can go and work with other people. It's really tough, though, saying goodbye to pens, because they're all so very, very different from one another. And I'm not talking about, this one's green and this one's brown and this one's black. I'm talking about the nibs. The nibs are very, I don't want to say unique, because I can't say very unique. They're very individual. They are unique for the most part. And I really have a hard time saying goodbye. What's in this pen? Another nice nib. Now I must confess to you, I am keeping this one because I like the way it looks. It has this fishnet stocking routine going on. It reminds me of the era of the 50s, and I'm of that era as well, so it sort of makes me smile. And for the moment, I'm enjoying this pen. If it had a very unpleasant nib in it, I would let someone else enjoy the pen. But it also has a really nice, smooth, slightly flexible nib, which makes me smile. This pen, where did it go? The one that had the dent in it. This one. This one I bought recently on eBay. It had a really broken or bent nib, and with my pliers and my burnisher I was able to make the nib work. It still doesn't look all that great, but it works really, really well. And it has a firm nib. And normally, I don't like firm nibs because they don't have the flexibility to it. But this does have a little bit of flex, and it's really, really fun to use this pen because of that little tiny bit of flexibility. It also is a slightly broad nib. I'm not going to say a stub, but it has a kinship with stub nibs, and they're sort of becoming favorites of mine at the moment. Not so much for calligraphy, because I don't really know my broad-edged calligraphy typefaces right now, and I don't really like doing that kind of stuff. But I think this would be a really, really fun nib to draw with. And I would never have thought that until I fixed the nib and put some ink in it and actually put it on a piece of paper. And having this pen in my hand is going to make me draw differently than having this pen in my hand. This is going to make me want to draw aggressively, and it's nice to have the pen tell you what to do. And I've said that many times. It's going to be something you hear quite often. But anyway, it's really a sweet little pen, even with its ding or two and its sort of bent nib. If you look at it, you'll see that it's if you look at the last 1/8 inch of the pen nib, it's a little bit funky, but it works. It was really funky when I got it, and I've defunkified it a little bit, and it works fine. So if I never sell this pen because someone says, oh, it has a ding in the cap and the nib looks funky, I'll say, okay, fine. I'll keep drawing with it. I'll keep using it. I'll keep drawing my masterpieces. Ha ha ha. But I'll keep using it because it really, really works well. Let's see, this pen. Excuse my sniffling here. Recovering from a cold. Trying to recover from cold. This is a nice, flexible nib. Semi-flexible. It's not overly flexible, but it's really a sweet pen as well for drawing or for calligraphy, general writing. Why am I showing you these things? I was showing you my studio. So here's my drawing desk from further away. Kitty. So how do I get anything done here? That's a good question. How do I answer that? Sorry. And I haven't combed my hair for a couple of days. I don't do that sort of thing. This is what you get. Can you understand why I'm single? Kitty, what are you doing? So this pen here, again, because something very heavy came crashing down on top of it and the cap broke into smithereens. I'm going to see if I can find a plain black cap to fit on this. Hopefully I can. Kitty. Anyway, I think what I should do is comb my hair and go outside and breathe some fresh air. Do you think? I think so. Thanks for watching. Toodaloo. Say goodbye, Kitty.